So here's the start list. 2 in it from Poland, Mariusz SOBCZAK and Marcin MIELCZAREK. From Russia, Evgenii TORSUNOV, the reigning world champion. Anastasios Petropoulos of Greece, the Athenian, who's regularly scored well in long jumps without hitting the podium yet. He's been competing a long time. So this is Petropoulos of Greece to get us underway. And this is distance, not points. TORSUNOV of Russia is the world record holder, 5.81. That's a solid effort of over 4.5 meters for the 25-year-old Greek. Petropoulos was 6th in the World Championships in October in Doha, and in the last Europeans in Swansea, he finished just outside the medals in 4th place. So he's a regular high finisher in terms of continental and global championships. He was 7th in the long jump at London 2012. Obviously won't finish as low in this, with there only being the 6 starters. Petropoulos, very impressive by the way. He's into the lead solidly with 4.62 meters.
Well, we've already seen one great long jump final today, Will, and we're hoping this T36 cerebral palsy event is just as good. There's some good athletes in that lineup of 6, and it's interesting to see the likes of Daniel Jorgensen, the amputee long jumper who went really well in qualification for the T42 100 meters. There's now some crossover between the long jumpers and the sprinters, so good to see some of the track runners getting involved in these big field event finals.
Happens quite a bit, just going through the biographies of various finals and semi-finals, as we always do ahead of every session. I mean, there are people who've dramatically changed their discipline, be it javelin throwers going into the long jump and vice versa, having tried one event for a while without a lot of success, and then suddenly coaches say, why not try this? And it works out perfectly. As we saw earlier, of course, in the women's 100 meters with the fantastic Russian gold medal of a new 19-year-old Veronika Doronina, new to the track. Her first ever track final, and she's a European champion.
Yes, I'm sure she'll be the toast of the Russian team, and whoever came up with the idea of saying, hang on a minute, let's ditch the shot put and get on the track. Whoever had that thought, well, it was a good one.
Well, it's very similar to what happened with Daphne Skippers in the IAAF circuit. She was a multi-eventer, and then they said, you can run fast, you know. Here's Benjamin Erben of Slovakia from Bratislava. Not a lot of success in the only other major championship he's been in, the Worlds in Lyon in 2013. He went out in the semi-finals in the 1 and the 2, but they've noticed some talent in the long jump in this.
I think this gives you an indication as to how difficult it can be for some of the cerebral palsy athletes in a really technical event. Long jump might look simple, put your foot on the board and jump as far as possible, but it's a hugely complicated technical event, and when you're dealing with the extra lactic acid in the weaker side of the body, that can be really tough.
And also just fighting your body's natural instinct of maybe straying off that straight. But Erben has a lot to deal with. He's the second to go in this. Petropoulos with 4.62. And that's 3.23.
Here's a real big campaigner in the long jump, Will.
Yes, Evgenii TORSUNOV, the reigning world champion from Doha last year. He's the world record holder as well, and that's a major effort. TORSUNOV's world record from Sochi in September, 5.81 meters, and that's well beyond the 5 meters mark. And I don't think he could have used much more of the board, to be honest. Very impressive attempt from the man from Perm. That's perfect. That's absolutely perfect on the board from TORSUNOV. Excellent run-up. He's a medalled sprinter as well. Silver and bronze in the 1 and the 2 in Doha at the last Worlds. And TORSUNOV looks in great form. He looks the man to beat already. That's a majorly impressive attempt in this T36 long jump final. Certainly it'll have him in the lead. It's a new world record, apart from the fact that it's windy of +4, so he won't get a new world record, but he has the lead and a strong chance of the gold as a result of that. And it is quite blustery today, and it's blowing as we're seeing it from the main stand from right to left, and that's at the backs of these athletes. The jumping pit is actually in front of the main stadium here, the main stand. Now that win still has to be ratified. If it ends up being under +2, then it's a world record. It certainly is the longest of his career. So anyway, next up, Armāns Gutmanis of Latvia, who spent quite a time outside of athletics. He finished 13th in the long jump in the World Championships in Lille in 2002. So, Gutmanis, it's great to see him back in this. TORSUNOV, I think, is having the win reading remeasured. Gutmanis is delayed as a result of that, but here he comes with his first attempt now. Gutmanis looks to me to have gone through the board on that. So that will go down as a foul and a red flag.
Interesting, Will, isn't it? The difference between a 0.4 and a 4.0. 4.0, of course, the legal registered wind allowance for a world record is 2.0. Any higher than that, and it doesn't count. So if it is 0.4 instead of 4.0, that will be a new world record for the Russians. So much depends upon the correct reading of the wind gauge. Early drama here on our first afternoon session in Grosseto.
Well, at the moment it is showing up as a 0.4, so that would be a new world record for TORSUNOV. There was a significant delay after that attempt of his before Gutmanis went. So we'll give him the world record for now. It'll be the third of the day. We two in one of the shot puts earlier in the 40 and 41 combined category. Mariusz SOBCZAK of Poland. The two Poles in this, both from the same city, Zunsko Wola. SOBCZAK now lives in Poznan. Silver in the long jump in Swansea 2 years ago at the last Europeans. Silver at London 2012, silver in Lyon in 2013. European champion in 2012. SOBCZAK thundering down the board. Good lift, connected well. No problem with advancing beyond the plasticine, certainly. SOBCZAK has been winning major championship medals since the 2002 World Championships in Lille. Didn't use much of the board at all, gave around 15 centimeters away. TORSUNOV with a 5.91 is our leader, and Petropoulos with 4.79 in second place, going to SOBCZAK's first attempt. Temperature has markedly dipped in the last hour or so, and it is now quite heavily overcast. 4.89, and SOBCZAK goes into second place. Next up, Marcin MIELCZAREK, his fellow Pole. Excellent in field events generally, both in the IAAF and the IPC circuits. And MIELCZAREK finished 5th in the World Championships in the long jump in Doha, but won bronze in the last Europeans, behind SOBCZAK in second. Bronze in Lyon in 2013, again behind SOBCZAK. 2004, the first time he won a major championship bronze medal, and he thundered through the board there, used up a huge amount of it, looked very, very close to the plasticine, which obviously would have been a foul, Well, I don't think he could have used the board much better, actually. He's got the white flag. Oh, yes.
Very
Nice.
good, absolutely spot on the board. It looked on first glance as though he may well have gone over, but that was a really good use of his run-up.
Well, that's absolutely magnificent jumping by MIELCZAREK. And, well, I think Poland at the moment will have 2 places in the podium. Early days, end of the first round. But MIELCZAREK, he's got 4.89 for his compatriot to target, and 5.35. MIELCZAREK goes into second place, and doesn't he love that? Back to Petropoulos of Greece. The Athenian, 4.62 in the opening round. He is 27 centimeters outside the medals at the moment. Russia 1, Poland 2, Poland 3. Best result ever, 4th in the last Europeans in Swansea 2 years ago. So Petropoulos looking for a major improvement to get him into the medals. Great standard in this competition so far, with Evgenii TORSUNOV with that 5.91, 10 centimeters beyond his outgoing world record from Sochi last September, in the run-up, a couple of weeks before Doha and the World Championships. Petropoulos has got quite a bit of a way to go if he can get his best ever championship result. Only thing I'll say is I'm glad I brought my jacket this evening.
The wind is definitely picking up in the stadium, Will. It's a lot breezier than it was this morning, and we will need to keep our eye on the wind gauge if we do see 1 or 2 very special exploits from the athletes.
Obviously, it is an open stadium here, and we are quite near the sea. We're quite near the Mediterranean, across from Corsica and Sardinia. Here he comes, second attempt. Petropoulos, again, didn't really use the board much at all, and he didn't use the board at all during the opening round when he came up with 4.62. So again, that's giving away maybe around 20 centimeters or so. Another solid attempt from this Greek athlete who turns 26 at the end of the month. Yeah, it didn't use the board at all. Full width of the board given away. So actually, that's kept him out of 3rd place, realistically. And he's having the technique ironed out from his national coach, as you can see, just to get the rhythm right and to get on the board. If he's improved on 4.62, any considerable amount at all, and he has, 4.79, he's in 4th place, but had he hit the board properly, then he'd be in 3rd.
Yes, could have got very close to 5 meters there. The Greeks do have such a great tradition when it comes to field event athletics in the IPC and in the able-bodied world as well. They have some brilliant pole vaulters.
TORSUNOV, that is now a ratified world record from the opening round of 5.91, and that's not far away from that again. Brilliant from TORSUNOV once more. He's pummeling the opposition very impressively so far, you have to say. That looks equally good to his first attempt. Used the board well, didn't really give much distance away. He's heading out towards 6 meters without visually crossing that invisible line. But he looks in the sort of form that he might become the first man in this discipline to break 6 meters in this T36 long jump today. 5.81 was the world record at the start of the day. 5.91 after his first attempt. And that's been ironed out as plus 0.4 in the wind gauge, so that's okay as a world record for him in the first round. It's okay for him as a world record in the second as well. And look at the wind reading, plus 1.9. He was just inside legality. 5.93 is another new world record. T20 definitely on the track is an exciting discipline. Great result for Poland in that. Will we get a great result for Poland in this? Marcin, MIELCZAREK, lifetime best, 5.35 in the second round. Can he improve on that to get close to the new world record of 5.93 by Evgenii TORSUNOV? He's broken the world record twice already today. MIELCZAREK 5.35 in the opening round. SOBCZAK at the moment for Poland had an opening round attempt of 4.89, second round of 5 meters 11. He's maintained his position certainly in second place, MIELCZAREK. I'm not sure if he's nibbled into the impressive lead of Evgenii TORSUNOV, who is our champion-elect again. And MIELCZAREK, I'm not quite sure what's come up there is actually spot on, but this man has been on the spot today, TORSUNOV. 5.93 in the second round. MIELCZAREK was 5.19 in the third round. It was 5.13 in the second. TORSUNOV now is third attempt. Well, can he improve on 5.93 again? It's another long one. It's out towards 6 meters again. This is brilliant consistency. And even if that's not up to the 5.93 we saw in the second round, and it looks as if it's marginally back a bit. He's given a few centimeters away there on the board, but hit it well. There's still the consistency from TORSUNOV today has been magnificent. Well, there can only be praise from his coach. The way he's going, the 6 meter mark surely is on the brink of being broken here. 5.86 you see has come up manually behind him, and there it is electronically. That too is beyond the old world record.
Plenty to keep your eye on here, including the world record holder in the long jump.
Yes, TORSUNOV, his fourth attempt here. And again, he's used the board brilliantly. Again, it's long. Again, it's heading towards 6 meters. His consistency has been magnificent today. He's having the day of his life, the performance of his life. 5.91, 5.93, 5.86. His previous world record, 5.81, set in Sochi last September. That's now gone. We could be seeing a lot more big sporting events in Sochi now that they've got the facilities after the Winter Paralympic Games. But TORSUNOV is having a blinding time. He's knocking on the door of 6 meters. And if it doesn't come today, well, Rio is just down the road. 5 meters 89 again is beyond the old world record.
That's a number.
So back to in front of the main stand here, and this is Mariusz SOBCZAK. Final attempt to come in the men's long jump. SOBCZAK lying in third place. Again, that's knocking around the 5 meter mark. He's in the medals right now. Petropoulos with 5 meters dead. SOBCZAK with 5.11, used the board absolutely on the money. Still has his medal to defend. MIELCZAREK is 17 centimeters ahead with that lifetime best of 5.35, and TORSUNOV's on another plane to everyone else today. Five meters 16, his final attempt, and he finishes with the bronze. 5.18 in the fifth round. So now the man in second place, MIELCZAREK of Poland. Can he improve on the lifetime best of 5:35? Used a lot of the board. Actually, maybe too much of the board. Yo, he's well beyond. So that's a red flag. So that means bronze for SOBCZAK, silver for MIELCZAREK, and gold for Evgenii TORSUNOV. Can he round off with something massive? MIELCZAREK with the foul, and it's silver for Poland. Russian gold for TORSUNOV. So his final attempt, 5:91 and 5:93. His first two attempts, 2 world records. And since then, he's gone past the old world record mark twice. So TORSUNOV, last attempt for our European champion. Oh, that's another really good effort towards 6 meters. Board looked to be used primely yet again by TORSUNOV.
Very good. Very good.
Well, he's been astonishingly good today, 5:72. So it drifted a little bit towards the end, doesn't matter. He's broken the world record twice today, and he is the European champion.